Howdy folks, it's All Turtle here and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator. We are in the middle of the Northwestern Kimberley coast bush trip, one leg per video. So the previous video was leg 1 with a long introduction. This is leg 2, so no introduction. Other than that, let's get flying. Alright, so the first thing we do is come down here and repair and refuel. Oh, we used almost all of our left tank on that one and not our right. What's going to happen on the hour-and-a-half long leg? Interesting. We do have fuel control here, right? We do, and we have to change it on our own. Okay, remember that. I still don't know how this auto propeller thing works. I still have to do it manually. But whatever. Alrighty, previous leg, we had a hand fly because I don't know how to do autopilot. We had a long introduction about that. That's some aircraft you could bind autopilot to your keyboard and then do autopilot even though I can't find it in the airplane. I don't do it that way though because I don't remember how. I don't remember my commands, and I don't see autopilot in here. So we have to hand fly, which is fine. It just means we don't get the sightseeing that we usually do. And since you all are watching leg 2, I assume you heard me talk about that on leg 1, so that's all I'm going to say on that. So anyway, let's see. Where on the runway are we anyway? Do we need a back taxi? We will back taxi a little bit. Just a little. In the meantime, flap 1 is down. I think, yes it is. Let's read about where we're going. Okie dokie, Annie Oakley. Actually, let's zoom this out one click. There we go. Actually, want to see where we are in Australia. This is Australia. This is north. There you go. Okay, let's set back that a little bit. Alrighty. Swan Island back in the air. Head northeast along the long, beautiful stretch of beach that leads to Swan Island, which lies just offshore, 3 minutes out. I don't know if it's going to be that far. It might be another island in here. We will see. What is our heading? 64 wonderful degrees. 64 is going to be this way, and we do not have GPS to follow this leg because I left the sim and came back. Doesn't matter anyway. We did the nav log and we end up following GPS pretty much perfectly, except for one little tiny little bit. We followed GPS perfectly without looking. We just did our nav log. It was awesome. Okie dokie, so there you go. I'll get my stopwatch started on my phone because the timer in the sim resets every time you open and close that. And I don't want to fly around with the nav log thing in the corner like this. We could, but it's annoying. Alright, 64 degrees onto Swan Island, and then we'll read about Sunday Island in a bit. So let's hop outside to circle view, which is annoying because you cannot turn the HUD off in bush trips. It's like a mini game like that where everything's preset, but you can turn the HUD off in free flight. Anywho, we have to remember to change fuel tanks this time. Hopefully we'll do a better job about that. This is last leg was the second time I've flown this plane. If you look at this, we got the 0.5 hours. It was at 0.1 when we started the bush trip. So I have not flown this plane very much. Less than 0.1 of an hour, I guess, which is 1/10 of an hour. So 10 minutes, 66 minutes or so, right? Not very long. Alrighty, we're gonna come down here, turn around, then we'll take off. Alright, that is probably plenty of space. I don't want to run into the other vehicles and aircraft, so let's just turn around, hop inside. And once we do turn around, we will just take off, turn and burn, GA style. And here we go. We will start the timer once we clear the airport. And, oh, okay, that's right. This is super STOL. Brakes to stop the wheels. Gear coming in already. Elevation, we'll see what feels comfortable. Or altitude, I mean. We'll see what feels comfortable. Let's bring the flaps in. It'll cause the nose to dip down a little bit. You can see the beach over there. You can see the beach over there. Alright, let's climb. We're not climbing very steeply, although we could. Let's start the timer now. And let's head along the coast. For how long? 3:20 it said, yep. Alrighty, so normally when I hand fly I talk more because I talk about what I'm doing. And because we cannot use the drone because my yoke and pedals are on. Or my drone controls are on my yoke and my pedals. So if I go into drone mode like this to move the drone around, I have no control of my aircraft. It's going to do whatever it wants, but it is stable enough. I might grab my screenshot or thumbnail if I can get something set up here like this. Because it is kind of staying steady because we're over water. If we were over land, this would not be working very well. And now it's starting to turn. So let's get back in and control our aircraft. There we go. And 3 minutes out. So there's an island out there. I mean, maybe it is this island way out here. We might get that far in 3 minutes. Okay. I guess we will. Gears up and everything, right? Good grief, why are we dragging? 600 feet per minute, that's fine. I don't want to go above 3,000 if I can help it. Oh yeah, that's right. The trim is so weird. The first time you touch the trim, it just does whatever, and then you gotta come back and redo it. Anyway, I talk a lot when I hand fly because I talk about what I'm doing, and I cannot do my sightseeing shots without autopilot because my drone controls lose control of the aircraft. That's what I was trying to say. I just remembered. If it's trimmed perfectly and there isn't much wind, then sometimes we can get away with it by, you know, doing the drone. But ever since this last sim update, when they started including more wind, it takes more input from me. So leaving the aircraft or leaving the cockpit is not gonna happen without autopilot. So there we go. But so I don't talk too much. I will give you sightseeing views out the window when appropriate. But right now it's not appropriate because I bumped my trim and it nosedived. Even though I trimmed the other way. Figure that out. I can't. Anyway, we're at 2 minutes out, so that has to be Swan Island up there. So let's read about the next thing just so we're prepared. Sunday Island is next. So when we get to that island, then we're going to turn 111 degrees and go to Sunday Island. Flying over open water, which Sunday Island is located at the opening of King Sound and is home to a number of species of terns and other animals. Alright, for right now, let's minimize that, but it does drive me crazy. But until they fix the thing where it unexpands itself, or it uncollapses itself. So frustrating. Alright, timer doesn't work either. And you'd think there'd be enough people complaining about it that, they would have fixed after this update. Anywho, time to turn in a moment and then I'll rest my voice. But let's just enjoy the scenery here. We're a little close to the ground. I am going to climb, because if we're too close to the ground, it doesn't look that great in some areas, and this is one of those areas. Right, we're about to head over the island. So, 111 degrees. Let's do it like this, and then we'll look out the window with you as we turn. 111 degrees, and let's restart the timer. And go, 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 go. There we go, perfect. There's our island. We're going to turn without looking at our gauges, which is not the best thing to do. We talked about that extensively in the previous leg. Spending so much time looking out the window, I wasn't looking at my gauges. We're going to keep climbing here a little bit, just because, like I said, we're too close to the ground. So, what are we looking at here? 4 minutes and something. 4:22. I am going to get rid of this. Alrighty, but rest my voice, give you some views out the window because I can't let go of my yoke. And I'll see you in a minute. Just a funny thing, just for fun, I googled Sunday Island, Australia, just to see which island it is. Is it that one there? Is it the big one here? And it brought me to Sunday Island in Vic, Australia, which is way down south, where we were in a previous bush trip. So I don't know. There's obviously more than one. And this one ain't on the map apparently. So one of these is Sunday Island with a bunch of animals. Could be that one. Could be this one. I don't know. But in a minute here, in a literal minute, we will be at our time, which will put us over the middle of whatever island is supposed to be, and then we'll do our next turn. So let's read about that. Cone Bay, we're going to turn 94 degrees and head east-southeast, flying over open water and pass above the heart of Cone Bay. So 94 degrees here in just a moment, and that'll be for 7 minutes. Where is it putting us? Because that's going to be in this direction. Maybe there's something over there on the other side. I sure hope so. Alright, it's time to do it. 94 degrees. So we'll bring this down. Mouse wheel down is how I remember. And let's reset our timer. And let's head this way. There you can see landfall up there. Alrighty. 7 minutes of hand flying. It should smooth out though once we get over open water. Whoops, watch your gauge there, turtle. You went too far. 7 minutes of this, and we'll read about the next thing we're doing. So I'll see you in 7 minutes my time, just a minute or two your time. Alright, we've reached about 7 minutes, and no matter how I trim this thing, it always wants to go down. I don't quite understand. So we keep losing altitude. Because then the longer sightseeing shots before I edit them down for you, I come back to the gauges, and it's like, whoops, what was I doing? So, very tricky to hand fly and do sightseeing stuff in videos. If we were doing a video of just hand flying, and that was the point, then yeah, no problem, but I want to make like a sightseeing type video out of it. It's quite difficult to hand fly at the same time, so it screws us up. So I'm still trying to trim back enough that we climb just a little bit to find that slower speed, because that's what trimming does. And I don't know. Anyway, enough of that. We're doing the best we can. Alrighty, so let's see. That was for 7 minutes. Next, we're going to turn to 3 degrees to Hidden Island. Fly to the north from Cone Bay to reach Hidden Island, the largest of the Buccaneer Archipelago, I never say that right, with an area of roughly 4,700 acres. Alrighty, reset the timer here, and 3 degrees. So we're going to go this way to 3 degrees. Just double check, it did say 003, right? It does. So 5.5 minutes on this to find Hidden Island. Hopefully we can find it if it's hidden. Let's do standard rate turn here. Instead of trying to be funny. There you go, standard rate. Whoop, standard rate. Going like this. Still not standard rate. There we go. We're going to go like this for 5.5 minutes, well, down to about 4.5 minutes. So I'm going to be comfortable in my chair, give you a quick view out the window, and I'll be back with you, and we'll read about whatever's next. Alrighty, I should probably change my fuel tank. I think I just mouse wheel up, maybe. Mouse wheel up, there we go. Cool. Alrighty, everything looks gorgeous out here. Absolutely stunning. This is a great altitude to be at, about 2,500 feet or so. So I'll try to stick around here if I can get the dang trim to do what it's supposed to do, so I can trim my speed, which will then help with altitude as well. Kind of works hand in hand. Otherwise, those islands back there look fantastic. Cliffs on some sides. Oh, my cat in real life is trying to get into my office. And we're still not climbing. Climb a little bit more. Alrighty, that is about our time, so let's see what is next. That was Hidden Island. Next will be 22 degrees for 2.5 minutes or so. Gibbings Island. Fly away from Hidden Island, which is out here. I don't know which one is Hidden Island. One of them. You can Google it and cross-reference with the video if you want to. Fly away from Hidden Island on the north-northeast, heading to Gibbings Island, one of the smaller of the Buccaneer archipelago. Kind of said it correctly. Islands. So 22 degrees for 2.5 minutes or so. Let's do this up to 22 degrees. Just like that. Restart our timer. And it was what now? 2.5 minutes or so. Alrighty. That means we should have an airport coming in because we do have an airport pretty soon, I think. Similar landing to the first one. Whoops, I overshot there. Stay with this altitude. There we go. Good enough. Wow, look at that. Crazy, huh? Very nice. That'd be super cool to take like a kayak or something through. Probably not a sailboat because the wind might not be in your favor ever, but kayak would work. Let's stay where we're supposed to go though, and let's not sink. We went over land and it totally threw us off. Alright, keep an eye on those gauges and slicey at the same time. Really, really difficult to do. We got another minute and a half till we make another turn towards the airport, which is why I'm nervous, because we make a little leg to the right for only 3 minutes and we're supposed to get to Cockatoo Island Airport. So I don't know where that's going to be. 54 degrees in just a minute. Probably have to zoom in more, right? So let's hope it shows up. And the wind and the ground turbulence is really screwing us up here. I call it ground turbulence now because you don't just get it coming off the mountains. It's everywhere now. Man, let's straighten out here. So this has to be the island up front because we're a minute and a half out. No, we're half a minute out when we're supposed to be. And then somewhere out here, probably right here, there's going to be a runway. Maybe it's under us. Maybe it's this one. I don't know. We have to wait until it gets closer. Let's see. Either, I mean, it has to be like there, right? You don't think it's out farther, do you? Oh, it is out farther. Really? We're kind of behind then. Okay, so we're going to go to this island and then over to there. I'm going to stop my timer because it's driving me crazy. And that's how we're going to navigate this. So, keep our altitude where it is. And then we'll head over to that island. Hopefully be able to spot it so we can set up for a landing. Anyway, okay. Not a huge deal. Already some views out the window, maybe some drone if I can, and I'll see you in a minute when we come in for our landing, basically. Alright, I think I've spotted our our runway right there. Pretty sure that's it. I'm pretty sure that's it. That's all I gotta say. So we're gonna come down. We have been actually. I started coming down in the last scene segment, but I want to come down and lose speed. So we're pitching up to lose speed. Throttles back to descend, like usual. Nothing strange there. Fuel is a little better balanced than it was. I know props in the red, but we'll be okay. Looks like there's quite some elevation to the top of this island here, so don't come down too low too soon. It will deceive you. This is actually a very difficult approach, even though it might not look like it in a YouTube video, because that train is all over the place. We don't know where we are. I'm not confident that the runway has been spotted, so we should have done a flyby first, which you should always do anyway in real life. It's an inspection pass. We're just going for it here. Yeah, this is interesting. Where is the runway? It should show up here in a moment. I don't have it made out yet. We might have to do this. Might have to do a go around here. Oh, there it is. Very, very obvious once we got past the trees. But you can see how the train came up, right? Gear down. See if we can do this in one here. We should be able to, no problem. Yeah. I have a feeling we're landing from the wrong direction again, like the first leg, but we'll make the most of it. Just don't clip the trees with the wheels, which I have done before in other bush trip legs, and it did count as a crash, even though it never used to. Alrighty, here we go. Nose up. Whoa. Nose up to slow down. Jeez Louise. And then we'll get into flap range here. Gear's already down. And there is flap 1 now. And we will go full flap on this just so we can stop on a dime and approach at a crawl. 2 flap. Float, float, float. Be careful. This is very difficult because of the train. If you look out the windows, do not look out the window. Do not look out the window to the left, unless you want to see how the train change. Alright, yeah, this is much more difficult than it looks, so I'm glad, because there's a little bit of challenge here. A little bit of throttle. Let's not hit stall quite yet. Let's make sure we make it over these trees. There we go. And then we'll be good, and then we'll dive down. Well, let's clear that last tree right about now. Here we go. I'm not slipping it. We're just riding it out. There we go. Very simple. Let ground effects take us a little bit and softly put it down wherever the ground is. Come on. Soft, gentle. There we go. Nose wheel down gently and brakes and the flaps coming in. Look for that save icon. Cross your fingers. There we go. Only 8 minutes longer than they're supposed to be this time. Actually 7 minutes longer. Alrighty, you know the drill. 1 leg per video, so like and subscribe so that you know when the next leg, or final leg of this bush trip already comes out. It's a long one, hour and a half or something, so hopefully when I can carve out the time to do that, it's not too far away from this one. So if there's a little bit of space between this leg and the next one uploading, it's because I just had to find time to fly a really long leg. Anyway, that's it for tonight. I'll see you next time.